Okay, here we are with back with Unit 3, and now we're on Section 5. Section 5 will be divided up into two sections, but we're going to focus on genocide in Africa in recent history. So today we're going to look at what genocide is, and then we are going to actually discuss the crisis in Somalia. Section 5.2, we will be back discussing Rwanda. Okay, first of all, we want to get a nice textbook definition of the term genocide. And this term was going to be coined by a Polish writer and attorney in 1941. So you see the word genos, Greek word for race, and Latin word side with killing. So basically, will be the elimination of an entire race of people. Often when we hear the term genocide, we think of the Jewish Holocaust. But again, we won't read all of this to you. But the United Nations will come up with a definition and how they will label something as a genocide. And again, we're not going to read all these five right here, but obviously there's going to be a lot of killing in the groups. And we will really look at number 3 here: deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about physical destruction, especially when we're looking at some of these African nations. So again, we'll get in more detail in class with this right now, so you can read over these 5. So here we have Somalia. And again, you see where Somalia is located on the map of Africa, the Horn of Africa, as it's often called over there, located really close to the Middle East. And there was a dictator named Mohammed Saeed Barre who ruled Somalia, but was forced to flee. And when he flees, and there's going to lead to a really a civil war between rival clans or tribes that are both armed heavily with militias and weapons. This struggle, this Somalian civil war, will lead to thousands of Somalians killed and wounded, and basically we can define Somalia as a failed state, one that has anarchy today. But one of the things about Somalia, going back in history, the droughts are common on the Somalia peninsula. But, again, only when it gets severe do you have a famine. And the last major famine was in 1992, and wasn't really caused by a drought. It was more caused by the internal politics and sectarian politics, if you want to use that example, different sections of the country kind of going at it with each other. And it's believed that nearly 300,000 people, innocent people, will starve to death because the food and water that happened that was low because of the drought turned into a famine because the government wasn't helping its people. So again, this is estimated 350,000 disease, and when you add the Civil War in there, the United Nations did try to step in with an operation called Operation Restore Hope, which was led by the United States. The UN peacekeepers, along with the United States, went in there to basically protect the food shipments. People around the world, generous people around the world, began donating, governments, companies, and sending food to the people over there. But the problem was it was being kind of confiscated by the warlords from those sectarian groups, and it wasn't getting to the people that it was supposed to get to. So this mission to kind of end the Civil War and famine is going to turn disastrous for the United States. And again, if we were in school right now, I've been showing a movie for a couple of years called Black Hawk Down that talks about this mission where 18 Americans and 2 UN soldiers were killed in trying to capture one of these warlords. And what will happen is this failure, this military failure for the Battle of Mogadishu, as it's called, makes U.S. wary of intervening in African crises. So that we'll get into details in class about that. But it just again, this failed state. So we go back here and we look at the map again, and you see Mogadishu there. One of the side effects of having a failed state and having anarchy is actually going to be modern day pirates. So Somalian pirates seized, almost 2,000 hostages and were paid millions of dollars in ransom. And basically what was happening was oil tankers would go along the coast, heading into the Middle East or leaving the Middle East, and Somalian pirates would board the ships and then basically radio the company saying, we have your oil, we have your crew, drop a couple $1 million, a couple 100,000, whatever on the deck of the ship, and we'll just let them go. And it actually had to lead to the U.S. Navy patrolling this coast to make sure this wouldn't happen. Again, another example of Somalia's civil war and famine leading to the failed state. Okay, that's it for this first section. We will be back looking at a genocide, a violent genocide that will be in the country of Rwanda.